Well, on to this now. Voting is underway at the ANC's eThekwini Regional Conference this afternoon. This comes after numerous delays. Nominations for key positions were wrapped up a short while ago. Senior politics reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo is monitoring the situation for us and joins us on the line. Ziyanda, thank you so much for joining us. We know, of course, that earlier a number of nominations were accepted, that of Zandile Gumede as well as Thabani Nyaose. What can you tell us about that?
Well, certainly, Ntokozo, no shortage of vibrancy when it comes to this conference, and it would seem that the issue that has bedeviled this conference continuing around whether or not regional task team members are voting delegates has been resolved, and the precedent that has been set in the last 8 regional conferences where RTT members were not voting delegates has been upheld. And the reason for this, Ntokozo, is that some RTT members aren't necessarily from that particular region. So, for an example, Kwazi Mshengu is a regional task team convener here in eThekwini, but he's from a different region altogether. He's from Moy River. So that issue, which saw 6 hours of debate well into the early hours of this morning, has now been resolved. So the nominations process and the Elections Commission has come and told us about this, and Zandile Gumede has accepted her nomination in absentia. Let's take a listen to what happened just a short while ago.
For the position of the regional chairperson, only 2 names have met the minimum threshold, and the list is arranged in alphabetical order by their surnames and not in any other preferred manner, comrades. Comrade Zandile Gumede and Comrade Thabani Nyaose.
So that's the Elections Commissioner Ncedisi Mthenjwa there, and to talk more then about what's taken place and how swiftly we'll move through these proceedings is Pule Mabe, National Spokesperson. Bathi niyaxova, Pule Mabe, you are the ones as national officials who come into regions to try and interfere and actually cause chaos. This issue of the regional task team members, why did it even have to be a discussion when there's been a precedent at 8 different regional conferences, and then suddenly in eThekwini this wants to be changed? We were told that David Masondo, the deployee to eThekwini, is one of the people who thwarted efforts to continue after he was told that the KZN provincial executive had made this decision a while ago.
Ziyanda, let me clarify that. Well, it's good that you say you are told. Clearly, you're not told by Comrade David, because we know what has been happening here. Rule 19.2.12 of the ANC Constitution is quite definitive on the role of the Provincial Executive Committee. The Provincial Executive Committee is empowered to convene the regional conference. Well, perhaps speaking out of experience here in KZN, having had the opportunity to work here for almost 10 years, for the past 10 years, in the first term, one was deployed here, and even in the second term. What had happened in KZN, and really unique to conditions of the province, is that where we had established task teams in the past, you will find that people who constitute that task team are not necessarily cadres who came from those specific regions. Let's talk about eThekwini. There was a process in eThekwini. The Regional Executive Committee of eThekwini was disbanded. When it was disbanded, a task team was established, led by Mthandeni Dlungwane, who was a member of the Provincial Executive Committee at the time. He was then made a convener of the RTT, of that RTT in eThekwini. The same happened now. When a disbandment was effected on the Regional Executive Committee of eThekwini, we brought in Comrade Kwazi Mshengu, who is a member of the PEC. Now look at it this way. That's what I'm saying. I mean, really, people might be putting words in Comrade Masondo's mouth. Look at it this way. Who constitute a regional conference? It's members of the ANC in good standing from branches in that region. So if you don't come from that region, it means that you will not be able to constitute or be part of a branch in that region. So if you were to vote as an RTT convener of KZN, of that region, you will effectively be imposing your will and wish on the people of that specific region where you do not reside. So, we haven't done that. We have worked with the province before, and we have always been consistent on that position, because it is only people who stay in that region. In provinces where people would have voted as task teams, it is mainly because those people stay in those regions. So you need to be, the threshold is that you must be a member of a region. You must be a member of the ANC in that specific region for you to be able to make that kind of a democratic expression.
All right, thank you very much. That's Pule Mabe. He's the national spokesperson of the African National Congress, clarifying then the issue of, the regional task teams and their voting powers. As it stands, the organizational reports are now currently being deliberated upon behind closed doors. And then we're expecting then for voting to get underway, which gives an indication that, in the next couple of hours, I'd say about 4 to 5 hours, we should start seeing some kind of movement when it comes to the counting of these votes, and hopefully, later this evening, then the results of the top 5 positions will have come out. Ntokozo.